The first tip is the Hipfire. You spend a lot of time in this game using the left trigger to aim your weapon to point at your enemy, but you don't necessarily have to. If you pull the right trigger before hitting anything else, it automatically aims at the enemy who's nearby and fires on them automatically. This is especially handy with shotguns and other close range guns like that. You don't have to line up a headshot, or you need a quick reaction time. So you can pull that right trigger automatically without having to worry about aiming down the sights with the left trigger. This increases your reaction time and is pretty deadly. The next tip is the Varmint rifle. It's kind of beaten into the ground at this point, but it can't be expressed enough. It's pretty amazing. It's got crisp headshots. It's really easy to pop up and aim. It's almost to the point where it's overpowered at this point. They're probably going to nerf it someday, but it's truly the most traditional feeling gun from the original Red Dead, and it works really well. It's also really great to get multiple headshots in a chain, and it's good for body shots too. Just keep piling them on there quickly. It's got a quick reload, and it's only 75 for a start on the game, so it's really one of the first, most accessible guns, and it's truly the best. It's really one of the ones that I use the most. Next is the Reticle. It's got a feature in this game. If you watch closely when you're aiming and shooting at something, the reticle shrinks a little bit the longer you lock on to a target. So if you use, especially guns for longer distances, the longer you lock on and wait, the more it'll shrink and the more accurate it is. Basically, the outer circle of the reticle is where that bullet could go, and the longer it goes, the more it shrinks, the less chance you have to miss your target. So if you lock on, if you have the time, wait a little bit longer and let it hone in on where you're shooting, and you'll find yourself getting a lot more accurate shots. The next tip is the shoulder switch. It's actually a mechanic from the first game. It wasn't right away known then either, but it's a super handy thing to do. When you're peeking around corners or in other useful situations, you can switch the camera from one shoulder to the next. It's useful for peeking around corners and dead-eyeing, or just lining up shots that people see necessarily. You hold down the left trigger and hit the left and right D-pad to switch left and right. It's not quite as good as it was in the first Red Dead. It doesn't stay on that shoulder like it used to. You have to hold the trigger down as opposed to just doing it while running. But it is still a useful thing to do. It can save my ass.